MediGroup Physician Services presents MediGroup's Frank's Fast Five with Healthcare Executives, produced by Bridget Wilson and Carrie Peters. Today's guest is Micah Smith, Senior Vice President of Sales for Provista. Now here's your host, MediGroup's Frank Gillespie.
Welcome once again to another edition of MediGroup's Frank's Fast Five with Healthcare Executives. Alongside me today, too, is MediGroup CEO Andy Clearman. Hey, Andy.
Hey, Frank, how are you doing today?
Doing well. Good to see you, and thanks for being here. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, today, Andy and I are here with Micah Smith, Senior Vice President of Sales for Provista. Micah, welcome.
Thanks, Frank. Thanks, Andy. Thanks for having me.
Of course, we're glad you're here. Yep. Thanks for making time for us, Micah. So, Micah, I promised you we wouldn't waste your time. We're going to jump right into these questions. This will go quicker than you think. So, first question, Micah, how long have you been in your role as Senior Vice President of Sales for Provista? And can you share a general overview or snapshot of your sales team for us?
Yeah, sure, Frank. Yeah, I've been in the role, I think it's coming up on a year here, which is funny you even asked that. It seems like it was a few months, but yeah, it's been almost a year, and I almost self-reflect. I've been at Provista, the organization, for almost 11, wow. And I've been at Vizient for almost 15, which again seems like just a few weeks that's flown by, but it's been a fun journey. In terms of the sales teams, yeah, we're really separated kind of two different ways if you think about how we go to market. On one side, we've got our indirect team, which I know you guys are very familiar with, where on that team, we've got our channel partner team, which you guys sit with. We've got a distribution team that sells through our distribution partners. And then more on the direct side, we have a business and hospitality team that sells into the non-healthcare space. And then we have our healthcare sales vertical, which is made up of national accounts, field sales, and inside sales. And then the last one, which is a newer team to the mix, is we have our solutions team, which is responsible for commercializing the Envi solution as well as our procurement offering.
Lots of different pods there. That's very interesting.
Lots of pods.
Yeah, lots of pods. Very good, though. You're the right person to do it, for sure. So let's see. I think the next question is Andy's. Andy, I think it's your turn.
Thanks, Frank. Micah, can you tell us about Provista's procurement solutions package for members, and also a bit about Envi, the advanced materials management software that Provista offers?
Sure, Andy. I might flip my answer and start with Envi. Are you okay with that?
No problem.
So a little bit about Envi. Envi is a well-known brand. It's been in the market for 18 years. We've got 8,200 healthcare facilities, so it's a market share leader. But really, it's a web-based materials management healthcare supply chain solution whose goal is to minimize tasks and automate supply chain processes, minimize manual tasks. And so when you think about it, it creates an environment that's scalable, that a customer can plug in inventory, electronic invoicing, AP match, vendor connections, and all the other things that a supply chain manager would deal with. And it's done in a way that, you know, we've seen in the healthcare space. You guys have seen it with your members as well as ours, that our members are consolidating, and there's a lot of scale happening, and that's a very manual thing right now. And so it really serves as the base of our market offering. And what's great about it is it's GPO agnostic. And so not all the folks that use Envi use Provista. It is you don't need to go all in. But what we've seen is that in the last, year and a half, 2 years, these solutions were solved in individual categories. So you'd have somebody solving for technology, you'd have somebody solve for GPO, and then there'd be some level of service on the far side. And so what we've attempted to do is put everything this under one roof, so we can go have a conversation with the member around technology, around automation, around scalability, but at the same time, bring the GPO into that conversation. And the third piece of that, to your first question, Andy, is when a customer doesn't have the staff or the resources, they need somebody to outsource that activity around price discrepancy resolution, item master, maintenance, or even potentially fully outsourcing procurement. We have a solution there where it makes sense. So it's allowed us to bring a la carte solutions together, but still remain autonomous if need be. Great question, though.
Well, that's great. I can tell you it's been just fantastic for our members that use it. Really great.
Yeah, we've seen the same thing. It's been a really exciting, timely thing, especially on the backs of some of the challenges that we've all seen in healthcare, with healthcare moving outside the patient walls into the continuum of care. There's a lot of patients hitting that space, and there's been a high pressure and strain on supply chain costs, and it's given us some ability to get visibility and do some of our core competencies behind the scenes. Great to hear you saying that as well.
Thank you, Micah. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah. And speaking of challenges, Micah, how has the approach to sales evolved since the onset of the pandemic? And what of that which changed do you think will stay an ongoing practice or approach?
Well, it has, right? I think internally looking, I think one of the big things that we were challenged with, all of us, I don't think this is just in healthcare sales, is that we all went virtual for a while, and to an extent, we're still really virtual. I think it's a bit of a hybrid environment, which, you're on Zoom calls with customers. And so one of the things that I think changed is my immediate answer is how we show up to customers, Frank. And I think that's going to be a bit of an evolution. I think there's really large customers we deal with today that are completely virtual still. We're not seeing them. And so there's the dynamic of managing the relationship, creating a relationship, but you're doing it on a phone or on a Zoom call. And I think that'll be a challenge that we all kind of work through. The second thing is, when is it appropriate to show up to a customer? Like, when are you not overstepping your bounds and figuring out? So really how we show up to a customer, to me, is one of the ongoing challenges that we all saw that I think we're still managing through, that we're just going to have to keep a close pulse on. The other thing is, from an actual, like, what we offer to market is, healthcare is very price conscious. I mean, it is. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we saw through PPE and the shortages and some of the events that happened because of COVID was product availability was even more important than price. And again, there's a blend there. You want to have the right price, but you have to have the right product available. For sure. And I think supplier assurances and supplier resilience strategies are going to really tie into, as we evolve out of this into the future of whatever the world looks like. It's going to be not only quality, not only price, but also availability.
All great points. I mean, really appreciate that. And the one that I think hits the home the most, and it was your first example, is where we've all learned to work from home. So, and that's affected everyone, whether you got sick or not. So makes a lot of sense. So thank you for that. Next question, we're almost done. In the years that you have effectively served the healthcare community, Micah, is there perhaps one thing you learned early on in your career that remains an ongoing force for you still to this day?
Yeah. I think the one is always do what's right by customer. If you always do what's right by customer, everything else works itself out. And, I think the teams on the back of the pandemic question, we dropped everything we did, and we had to react and do whatever the customers needed. And so it put some of the normal action plans aside, because their challenges changed. And so we need to change with them, and we need to do right by customer. And so I think the one that is probably that is the first one. I think the second one, and this is a bit of more of a relationship angle, is that ultimately people buy from people, Frank. And whether that's a supplier partner, a distributor partner, a provider, customer, YouTube, I think it's ultimately, we're all people. And I think we need to maintain that level of relationships and challenge each other, as both from a customer standpoint, as well as, a supplier, distributor, GPO. And I think as long as we're maintaining that level of authenticity, I think it really grows and develops the relationship. So, short answer of what my long-winded was, people buy from people, and just do what's right by customer, and it'll all work itself out.
Makes perfect sense. And I've tried to practice that myself in my career. So no, it makes perfect sense. And it's worked for me too. So love it. Okay. We've made it to the last question. This is kind of a relaxing one, but what do you do to relax and have fun? Do you have a favorite hobby, something you want to share, like to share?
Yeah, it's a great, it's funny. So we've got two boys. So I love watching them play sports. I think it's, but when I smile at that, is I'm not sure it's relaxing, because the competitive spirit that I naturally bring, I'm having to calm myself down half the time. But I really do enjoy it. It's so rewarding seeing them succeed. And so I think that's one. I think two, and this is the other one I laugh at, is that, I like to play golf when I can. Sure. But ultimately it ends up being more infuriating at times than rewarding. But it's, at least you're outdoors and you're hanging out with friends and family and whatever that. So yeah, those are probably my two, is hanging out with family, and then playing golf when I can.
I would say your priorities are perfect. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm the same way when it comes to playing golf. It's more of a social outing versus a competition.
That's exactly right. If you hit some shots, good shots, it's all good. It's
right. That's what I take. That's what I take away with me. You got it.
That's right. That's
Andy,
right.
So, Micah, I just started playing Frisbee golf. Have you ever played Frisbee golf?
I have. Yeah. My son and I, when we go to Oklahoma, the in-laws live next to a Frisbee golf course. And the way we get out of the house is we actually go hit up the Frisbee golf course. I'm almost do it every holiday. And it's like 2 blocks walking distance. And we do it. It's a good time. It's a lot harder than I thought it would be, quite honestly.
I was just about to say that it's not like throwing the old kind of Frisbees. That's for sure.
It is not.
No.
We need to go play then, Andy. We could. I only have like 3 or 4 Frisbees, so I'm equipment limited, but we should do that.
Hey, that's all it takes. You can only throw one at a time.
That's right.
That sounds great, Mike. I look forward to it. And thank you very much for being with us today. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you again. This is a great opportunity. And, we appreciate everything. We jointly serve a lot of members, and I think we're all faced with some set of challenges. And I think as long as we're doing right by customer and realizing we all buy from people, that I think it'll work itself out right. But thanks for the time today. I really mean that.
Thank you very much, very much, Micah. Really appreciate it. It was a fun interview, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of the week.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Frank.
we really appreciate. Sorry, Mike. I just want to say we really appreciate you and your team. They do a great job.
Awesome, Andy. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
This has been MediGroup's Frank's Fast Five with Healthcare Executives, produced by Bridget Wilson and Carrie Peters, and hosted by Frank Gillespie. Special thanks to Micah Smith, Senior Vice President of Sales for Provista. This has been a presentation of MediGroup Physician Services.